Hi, everyone. I wanted to take you through these slides about King Leopold II and the Congo because it's one of my favorite things I teach every year, not because it's happy. It's not at all a happy subject, but because I think it's the ultimate example of the effect of European colonization upon people in Africa, in this case, the Congo, under the rule of Leopold II of Belgium. So Leopold II, he was the king of Belgium, which is a really small European country. We'll see it on a map here in a second. And at the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, which you watched a video on earlier, Leopold II got control of the Congo. And it was not actually a colony of Belgium. It wasn't like the United States at one time was a colony of Great Britain, to where it was actually considered a part of that country. It was his own personal land, his own private property. So at least he looked at it as a way where, if Leopold II's thinking about it, he thought he could do whatever he wanted there. And he wanted to trade, and he promised with Europe that he would trade its resources with them. And then he made deals, or his people made deals with tribes that lived in the Congo, the Congolese people, who were actually mostly illiterate, so they couldn't read and write, to only make deals and only trade with his agents. So he obtained this land as a monopoly, so no one could go in and compete with him. The most important, by far, natural resource in the Congo was rubber. As European countries such as Belgium industrialized, rubber became a very, very important resource that people needed. It was very high in demand. So as we learned in the first quarter, when the demand is high and the supply is low, the price is really high. So he wanted to increase that supply to keep meeting that demand. Rubber, as it was very difficult to harvest. The Congo had these trees that grew vines where rubber could be harvested from, and it took a lot of hard physical work, and Leopold's agents forced the Congolese people to do the work for him. Just so you can see here, here's the Congo down here, and then here's Belgium up here, this tiny red country, and you can see in the yellow that the Congo is much, much larger than Belgium. So the effect of this was that Leopold's agents forced the Congolese into incredibly hard labor in order to harvest rubber. If they didn't meet their quota for the day, which is like they had to harvest a certain amount of rubber, they were threatened with death or dismemberment. You can see in this horrifying picture here, this boy actually had his hand chopped off. That was a common threat, where the Congolese were oftentimes had limbs cut off if they didn't meet their quotas. Approximately an astounding 5 to 10 million people were killed in the 23-year rule of Leopold II in the Congo, which is absolutely horrifying and hard to believe. And I think the most unbelievable part of this whole deal is that Leopold II never once set foot in the Congo. So where he was forcing these people to do all this hard work to obtain this important natural resource for him that he was making a ton of money off of, he never once set foot in the Congo, never once even talked to any of these people that were doing the work for him. So what I want you to do on Classroom is answer these three questions on what's the 415 exit ticket. The first one, I want you to think about what Leopold's primary motivation, what was his main reason for what he did in the Congo, for forcing these people to get this rubber for him. Number two, should another country ever impose its will, force another country or another group of people in this case to get an important natural resource for them? Maybe think about as well, what are other ways where a country could get resources from another place, another land that's not there, without causing all this trauma? And then number three, what long-term effect do you think Leopold's actions in the Congo had on the Congolese people? How to this day do you think people that live in this region of Africa live with the legacy of what happened to them or what happened to their ancestors under Leopold II? So think about those. If you have any questions, let me know. Good luck. Have a good day.